As Christians, we begin to submit to God's will at the moment of conversion, and it continues throughout the rest of our lives. And we need to make sure that every single aspect of our lives is living in submission to God's will. This video is for Christian men. If you're a Christian woman, feel free to listen on, but realize that this video is not directed towards you. You are not my intended audience. My intended audience is young Christian men who want a godly wife, who desire a godly wife, and are trying to learn how to submit to God's will and how they pursue that woman. Submitting to God's will in Christian dating is not always easy, but it is very, very important. As Christians, we begin to submit to God's will at the moment of conversion, and it continues throughout the rest of our lives. And we need to make sure that every single aspect of our lives is living in submission to God's will. Now, what does that look like when it comes to Christian dating? First and foremost, it comes to pure motives. Are you liking that girl for the right reasons, or liking that woman for the right reasons? Are they a godly woman, or are they an unbeliever? Don't you dare pursue someone who is an unbeliever. Don't waste your time with so-called missionary dating. It doesn't work. More than likely, if you want to involve yourself in missionary dating, it's because you don't really want that person saved. You really just want to pursue that woman because she's good looking. And you want to have some kind of pure seeming intention beyond what is actually there. You want people to think that it's really one thing, but it's actually another. So if you're a genuine believer, don't fall for that trap. Make sure that you're liking that woman for the right reasons. If they seem to be a true believer and you seem to like them, why not pursue them? Provided they are single and not married. And a woman, I think that must be said in the 21st century, men pursue a woman. So what does it look like in submitting to God's will with pure motives? It looks like weighing your own heart, examining your own heart, right? Like 2 Corinthians 13:5, examine yourself, see if you're really in the faith. But that's not only about, in that context, it is about salvation, but also as Christians, we're supposed to weigh our own hearts and make sure that our hearts are pure, why we want this relationship, and what we're willing to do in this relationship in terms of how are we going to lay our lives down to love this woman. Because at the beginning of this relationship, that is going to be your sister in Christ, and it's always going to be your sister in Christ. However, there may be a moment in time where that relationship changes from merely being a sister to being a wife. And that is what we all hope for. We all hope that we will have a godly wife, and that is what this video is about pursuing a godly woman. So first and foremost, we have to make sure that our motives are pure. You're liking this woman for the right reasons, that she's a true believer, she's a member of a local church or pursuing membership in a local church, that she's been baptized, that she is at a similar spiritual level as you are. Now, it's okay if she's slightly behind you spiritually, because as men, we will need to lead our wives spiritually. But it's important that you both are pursuing the Lord with all your hearts. You both love the Lord, and you're seeking to love those around you. Number 2 is going to be a pure pursuit. Pursue this woman with intentionality. Don't merely say, hey, I just want to go on a date with you. No, don't merely just go on a date. No, get to know them first before you even go on any dates in church community. And when you start going on dates, I would suggest you go on a couple to figure out a little bit more about what they're looking for in a relationship. If they are ready to step into a relationship, which is a relationship with intentions of marriage, right? Not merely just a dating to get to know one each other, but dating for the purpose of, is this person going to be the one that I marry? And so a pure pursuit involves physical boundaries. Men, I'm going to say it again, a pure pursuit involves physical boundaries. You need to set boundaries. Because one way in which you build trust is through boundaries. And you want that lady to know that you are trustworthy and that you are going to respect them, that you are going to honor them. And that includes the way you touch them and how you interact with them prior to marriage. As men, we are more gravitated to be attracted to physical appearance and to want to pursue physical. And I would challenge you to use that inner desire to pursue Christ and to pursue Christ's likeness and to pursue this woman in a godly way. So now if you're trying to determine, all right, should I be in this relationship? Should I not be in this relationship? Well, why don't you ask a good, godly friend, right? They could probably give you some good advice. They probably know you pretty well, knowing if you're just overthinking things or knowing if, you really have some major concerns, whether it's about them or whether it's about you, whether you really don't have time for that, whether you have, a bunch of stuff in order and whether this person is right for you or not. And so I would challenge you to ask a close Christian brother about whether they think this relationship would be good for you. And if by prayer and, seeking the advice of wise counsel, you determine that it's a good idea, I would recommend that you pursue them with intentionality, with the intentions of marriage. Figure out whether or not you two are going to be the one that God has prepared for the other person in marriage. And number 4, it's pure submission to God's will in each and every area of that dating relationship. Setting physical boundaries, pursuing the Lord together, and making it the aim of your relationship to glorify God better together than you could apart. So now I hope that this helped answer your question about what submission to the will of God looks like in Christian dating. But if you have any follow-up questions whatsoever, please do leave them in the comments below. And as a reminder, my channel exists not to glorify me, it exists to glorify Christ and to help you the listener, you the viewer. And so if you have a spiritual question that I could be of help to answer, that you've been wondering something about the Christian life or about the Bible or something like that, I would encourage you to leave a comment below, or if it's more of a private nature, feel free to email me with jace@gmail.com. I'd love to help you any way that the Lord enables me to do so. Blessings to you this day. Please do like, share, and subscribe if you found value in this video.